Hey guys, Udub Ultra here. Welcome back to the channel. Bringing you a new video of Spiderman Miles Morales, playing this on my PC and my new LG 45-inch UltraGear OLED. Now, I have an Uncharted video coming out today as well, and like that, I'm actually playing at a resolution here of 5160 by 2160. For those wondering, I'm using DLDSR for these videos, and I'll be going more in depth in that as we cover this. But first, just looking at the settings, I am playing with everything maxed out. Everything's set to Ultra, including ray tracing. And then also, besides DLDSR, I'm actually using this in combination with DLSS, which is set to quality. Now, covering, or just going in depth really with the DLDSR. So, I've talked, pretty in depth in a few of my other videos of, well, native resolution, right, and my thoughts on this monitor when playing at 3440 by 1440, which has been positive, definitely, especially with the OLED panel and its HDR performance, right? The colors, the contrast, everything look very beautiful here. Now, in terms of image clarity, I've gotten a few questions on this. And so, again, if you're going to compare it to playing 4K, then certainly it's not that clear, right? Like, for example, if I'm comparing it to my C1 or even to my G9, there is a little bit of a softness to the image that isn't present there. Again, it's nothing drastic, and in my opinion, it's perfectly fine. And I've actually been personally surprised with how good games look in terms of that. Now, with that said, though, the big thing here, and again mentioned in the comments, was, well, what happens when using DLDSR, right? Or basically the idea of super sampling and upping the render resolution. So in this case, for those who aren't familiar, so DLDSR is pretty much the counterpart to DLSS on NVIDIA side, and so there's two factors here: 1.78 or I think it's 2.25. Times the native resolution. So in this case, I'm using 2.25, so that is 5160 by 2160. So the game is being rendered at a higher resolution and then brought back down. And then again, this is in combination with DLSS. So overall, what this does is, or should do, is improve image clarity to a great degree, right? Because you're ultimately rendering the game at a higher resolution. And I mentioned this in the Uncharted video that will be out earlier today, but I've greatly love this. I mean, this is definitely my default now for playing on this monitor. If you're playing at 3440 by 1440, and again, I've noted that there is a little bit of a softness to the image if you're comparing it to the G9. With DLDSR, and in this case, what I'm doing in combination with DLSS, this is as clear, maybe even arguably clearer than my G9, right? So, just to give context, the G9 is a 49-inch screen, 5120 by 1440, so with a PPI of 109. And again, DLDSR just works so much magic here. Now, you could technically get similar results with games that actually do provide you with a render resolution slider. So, for example, you can change it from 100% to 200% usually. But again, I just really wanted to note this because this absolutely is my favorite way to play on this monitor. I've thrown a few games at it, and I will continue to do that now for future videos. But I really do think that this is probably going to be the best way for people to experience this monitor and get the best out of it. Now, what this does mean, though, is ultimately needing a rig and specs that do give you the headroom. So in my case, playing with a 3090, I've used DLDSR for older titles when playing on my C1, but for the most part, right, I don't have the most headroom with many titles to actually use it, or maybe use 1.78 times on that factor. But in this case, right, with this monitor and having a resolution of 3414 by 1440 native, I definitely have the headroom, right? Pretty much every title I throw this, I have headroom to use one of the DLDSR multipliers. And again, it really has been a wonderful experience. Like I said, I really am surprised just overall how much this helps. And yeah, like I said, I'm hopefully that comes through on the video as you're watching it in terms of the overall clarity. But highly recommend doing this for this monitor. Again, especially if you have the specs. But yeah. I will be expanding on these thoughts more as more videos come out. Again, I'll be doing these settings or similar settings for other games, and then of course I will expand on this too in my first impressions video. But with all that, I'll go and stop the commentary here and let you enjoy the rest of the gameplay. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions at all, whether it's about the game or the screen itself, and I'll talk to you later.
Got him. One street side shootout stopped. City protected.
Howdy, Miles. This challenge tests your point launch skills. Hit all the checkpoints before time runs out. Approach the prompt to begin. You got this.
Oh, I'm ready for this. Let's boogie.
How about some point launch practice? That's it. The point launch is an essential fighter skill. When you got a motor, web swinging will get you there, but point launch will get you there now.
Starting to work up the sweat.
Keep going. You're almost there. Did that feel like a spectacular run to you? Because it looked spectacular to me. Hit a point launch just right and you'll accelerate like crazy. Super helpful when chasing especially speedy pigeons. Not that I would know. Anything about that, of course.
Oh man, was that for Howard? I've heard about his pigeons.
Keep up the great work, and I'll see you at the next challenge.
I think I can find a breakfast.
Hey, my buds, dudes, now pals. As if New York wasn't exciting enough during the holidays, there is now a tropical storm / hurricane reaping its way up the coast. Oh yeah, just like that movie where the boat gets flipped over by a big wave, you know? Oh, sorry, spoilers. Anyway, if this storm hits, a lot of people are gonna need help. So now's a great time to donate to your local shelter. Till next time, remember to check your...
Check that out! Let's see you dodge this!
And that's one more arms deal stopped in progress. Good work, me. Cops will want this for evidence. Hope they don't mind webs.